we've had a great week. My dad and his wife, so my stepmom, came out to visit. They watched the baby, and we went to see The Exorcist.
Yeah, we went to the movies and we chose to go see the damn Exorcist.
Exorcist
Believer, which I had been told wasn't good, but I was like, it looks good. And the first 30 minutes is so good.
The first 30 minutes, I thought this was going to be a real film.
Yeah, it's shot like a film. It's like the dialogue is great. Like everything about the first 30 minutes, like it feels like, oh, we're watching a film. Like The Exorcist, the original, was a film.
They made choices.
Yeah.
Shots were choices. Confusion was choices. Like there was an ambiance. They was directed. The first 30 minutes was directed.
It was very well directed.
And then
it just feels like too many cooks kind of situation. Like in the plot itself and probably in the making of the movie.
I think in the studio horror.
I know we're such a sucker for any Catholic Church possession movie.
Oh, I love a possession movie. I pointed that out on today's video, the video I dropped today about the Inquisition. I pointed out with the Pope's Exorcist. I'll watch any exorcism kind of possession movie. The Pope's Exorcist was better than this.
It was, but sadly, yeah.
Because after the first 30 minutes, and we're not going to spoil it for you, it just falls apart. And I kind of felt it was like that drawing of the horse that you see online, where the first part is a really detailed drawing of the horse, and the rest is just like something a kindergartner would do.
Yeah.
That is The Exorcist Believer.
Yeah, it's a real bummer what's happened to that. Because The Exorcist 2 was okay. The Exorcist 3 was great, even though it made like very little sense. Remember The Exorcist 3? It had that scene in the hospital.
I remember the scene in the hospital.
Very good. Very creepy movie.
The one where they go to Ethiopia and it takes place underground, I remember being really scared by that. I want to say that was like 2002 or 2004, something like that.
Yeah, and this was Blumhouse, and I don't know, man. I thought like, okay, maybe everybody's wrong, or like maybe I'll like it and everybody else didn't like it, but no, it's objectively a disappointing bad movie.
Because if they say that bad things are good, why shouldn't the things that they say are bad actually be good?
There you go. That was our thinking.
Yeah. And no, we wasted the only date we're going to get. We totally wasted it. Because we don't live near our family. We're not going to get like a regular sitter. We're trying to figure out the sitter situation. So this was our chance to go to the movies. Blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should, and we have been, we should stay home and watch horror on the TV.
Yeah. And there's such good horror right now, man. This is the era of good horror movies because all other movies are just trash and bad. I feel like
that's a big generalization.
I feel like the genre of horror is the only thing doing anything interesting or worthwhile, with like a few exceptions.
Well, I'd say one of the reasons for that is because you don't need a big name in horror. So you can make a movie for $1 million, $500,000. You don't need to get a Brad Pitt in there.
Right.
And all these other movies that you're going to see in the theater, they need a big name. They need the celebrity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are many reasons why just general audience movies are horrible now. But one of them, I think a lot of them aren't made for American audiences, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Horror movies seem to be made for an American audience.
The Spanish language horrors have been really hitting.
Yeah. Last night we watched When Evil Roams.
When Evil Lurks?
When Evil Lurks.
When Evil Lurks.
On Shudder. Very interesting movie. Really, really good.
That is almost a fantasy. It's like a horror fantasy because it's a different universe.
Yeah.
But it's Spanish language. I think it's from Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a good one. Now, we had brought up before, Talk to Me. That was good out of Australia.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I think we've brought it up before, but what was it? I Saw the Devil, or no. Here Comes the Devil.
Here Comes the Devil.
Here Comes the Devil is so good. That's Mexican. That's
low
really
budget.
Good. Mm-hmm.
That was from a few years ago.
Yep.
So if you're looking for horror, here's the thing. If you're looking for a horror, there's a lot out there. There's a lot of trash, too. So be very, very careful. I don't know. Maybe we should have a list. I should have done a list for this Halloween.
Yeah.
I missed it. I didn't even think about it. When would I put it out? Halloween's Tuesday.
I don't know.
I should have put it out today. I put out the Inquisition. all my research on the Inquisition wasted, one. And two, who cares about the Inquisition? Nobody cares about history or facts or anything. They just want to be entertained. I should have put a list of the best horror TikToks. That's what people care about. That's what the kids want.
Well, because I feel like people are going to say like, no, we're just old, just like our take on music or whatever. Movies have objectively gotten worse. I'm going to read you a list of movies from 1993. Okay. This is just movies released in 1993. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Schindler's List, The Fugitive, Dazed and Confused, Groundhog's Day, Menace to Society, A Perfect World, True Romance, In the Line of Fire. Let me keep going here to stuff that I recognize. Jurassic Park, Army of Darkness, Falling Down, The Nightmare Before Christmas, A Bronx Tale, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Dead Alive. Remember Dead Alive?
No, it's
the Peter Jackson movie from Australia. Very good. I didn't see Hard Boiled.
You're a connoisseur.
Carlito's Way.
Okay.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings?
Grumpy Old Men.
Wow.
Rudy.
Wow. Is this just because it's from what we would have watched at Blockbuster when we were kids? Is that why it's good? Or are they objectively better than the movies
These
that are coming out?
objectively better movies. And I would say they're objectively better movies for a general audience, other than like a few things. Like obviously Schindler's List is like an important movie, like a historical movie, but a lot of these
sit down and learn.
Yeah. A lot of these are like straight up general audience movies that can be watched by like a variety of age groups.
And they're a one-off too. It's not like you have to be part of the series. It's just like you go to the movie, you watch this movie, and it's contained.
Yeah. The Firm, Hard Target, Dave. Remember Dave? We just rewatched Dave. Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, Mrs. Doubtfire, Addams Family Values, which is a sequel, but it holds up and it's great.
It might be better than the original.
It's phenomenal on its own. The list goes on. There are a lot of good movies this year. The Good Son. Ooh, wow. And Fire in the Sky. Really good.
Fire in the Sky is really good.
And of the movies I just said, how many would you say are horror movies? Fire in the Sky, The Good Son, maybe 2, right? I'm going to read you movies that came out in 2022. I would do 2023, but we're in 2023.
We're in the middle of it.
These are some of the these are rated popular by IMDb. All right?
Okay.
Talk to Me.
Good.
X. Pearl came after X. Pearl is next. The Batman. Terrifier 2. Top Gun, Maverick. That's really the first general audience movie, and it's a reboot. Well, it's a sequel, right? A franchise.
Yeah, it's part of a franchise.
Yeah. Scream, the remake of Scream. That's a remake, but also a horror movie. Babylon. Nobody cared about Babylon.
Nobody cared about Babylon.
Hocus Pocus 2. Objectively horrible, and I love Hocus Pocus 1.
Hocus Pocus 1 was one of the best Halloween kids movies that I can remember.
100%.
I loved it.
The Menu. Weird horror movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's up there with
good.
like that's an actual
now we're competing with 1993.
Movie. Barbarian.
Horror.
Great horror movie.
Gruesome.
Yeah. A Man Called Otto. I didn't see. I don't know anybody
Tom
who saw
Hanks.
it. Yeah. Avatar: The Way of Water. A franchise nobody asked for, in my opinion.
Everybody asked for it, and they want more. You're such an old man.
Smile.
I like Megan.
Bullet Train. That's an action movie that I guess you could say is sort of general audience, but it's a hard R.
And I'll
but
put Megan in there.
It feels like an original story.
Yeah.
Death on the Nile, a remake, whatever. But a lot of the movies from '93 remakes. That was good.
It.
The Whale.
That was a good drama.
That was a film.
Yeah. Cinema.
Nope. Horror movie.
Oh, yeah. We saw that.
Halloween Ends. Triangle of Sadness. Fantastic. If you haven't seen Triangle of Sadness.
I love that
Sisu
movie.
Was good. Glass Onion is a sequel, but also a lot of people liked it. I thought it was all right.
We know someone who hates Glass Onion.
Yeah. I don't know how you can hate it necessarily.
They're very passionate about this movie.
I thought that was good. So my point is, there were a few more. The Northman came out last year. That was good.
That's good.
And then you get into like Thor, Love and Thunder.
Well, now you have the cinematic universe.
Doctor Strange.
Which was good. Doctor Strange was good.
Well, we didn't see the latest Doctor Strange.
Wait, that's not the original Doctor Strange?
Amsterdam, which we tried to watch and turned it off because it is boring.
You turned that off.
Yeah, it's boring.
You got to commit.
And All Quiet on the Western Front, the remake, which they need to continue making every 25 years or whatever. And
they should remake it before every World War.
But my point is, of the list that I just read, that's mostly horror movies that had buzz last year. That's crazy.
Well, that's how you get through to people's attention, because there's so many things competing for people's attention right now.
Right.
We kind of need buzz.
Yeah.
We need word of mouth. Celebrity isn't doing it anymore.
No. And I mean, the other thing that those two lists say to me is like, where's the Jurassic Park? Like, where's the big epic movie that's not part of a franchise that's like, I mean, it would go on to be a franchise, I understand. But like that, the quality of movie has changed so much.
Well, you have studios that are afraid to take these risks. Mm-hmm. They can't invest into a Jurassic Park. Well, Jurassic Park, first off, was a novel. Mm-hmm. And then it got Spielberg attached. So back then, it was already a safe bet. Right now, they're not even taking those risks.
Right.
And I think we're coming off of the tail end of superhero franchises because people are just getting tired of it. We went to the movies and they played what was the latest Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And nobody was excited for it. Nobody cared.
No. But I mean, I think a good... Here's something interesting. What hadn't made the list yet, I'm going down the 2022 list. RRR was last year, and that's the kind of movie I'm talking about. Where are American movies like RRR?
The trends changed in the studios. The studios are not taking those risks, or they weren't for the longest time. The studios are trying to bet on sure things. Even if it spent $200 million on a massive, the next Fast and the Furious, they're going to take the short thing, quote unquote. And Marvel movies make their money back. Superhero movies have traditionally made their money back. And these other things, they're a risk.
Yeah.
They used to make like $10 million movies, one-off movies for adults. They just stopped doing that.
Yeah, and that's sad. And I think we're going to see, and we're probably already seeing, like, how that reflects on society, right? Like, a lot of those movies from 1993 are like foundational, like, character building movies in my mind, because I saw them when I was like 6. So
yeah, and then you get them at Blockbuster, because we're too young to be taken to the theater and to be expected to watch a movie, a full movie. So our parents would rent them at Blockbuster, and we'd sit down and we'd watch them later in a decade.
Yeah, and I'm sick of being told I'm being old by saying movies suck now. Movies suck now. That list from 1993, I could go to any year in the 90s, and there are huge, excellent movies. 95, randomly. Heat, Casino, Braveheart.
Wow, Braveheart.
The Usual Suspects. Leaving Las Vegas, Apollo 13. Dead Man with Johnny Depp. That was low budget, but good. Toy Story. 7. I could go on. Get Shorty. Like, these are 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys was great. That sci-fi movie with Bruce, fantastic. So, yeah, movies suck now. That's my proof.
So you're saying movies are bad now, and I'm going to say I tend to agree with you, but I just want to make sure we're not being nostalgic about it.
I mean, just thinking about, like, what movies are you excited about this year? There's the Scorsese movie that's coming out, that is out.
Killing of a Flower Moon.
Yeah, that I'm very excited. That's like an adult movie, right?
Well, there's an adult movie. Where are the adult audiences? Mm-hmm. That's why they don't make them. Where are the people who are going to go and see these movies and make it profitable and get you your $10 million back plus the cost of advertising?
Now, I had read that the audiences for Killing of the Flower Moon, or I think that's the name of it, and Oppenheimer both like way outperformed expected audiences under 35, which is good. So hopefully...
Yeah, that's right. We did have Oppenheimer come out this year.
Yeah, hopefully studios will kind of see that people want real movies.
And I honestly feel that the generation that was watching all these Marvel things, they're just sick of it. And they're aging out and they're becoming adults. And there's going to need to be something there for them. I do think there's an audience now for these adult movies. Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry about that. The baby decided to wake up and just completely destroy our lives like he does. You know what? This is why there's a demographics problem. This is why. No, we love our kid, but he's not going to be working the farm.
Well, it's hard to contribute to hustle culture when you have a child. You can't hustle with a child.
You can deliver Uber Eats with him kind of on your back.
Oh my God, but you're screaming the whole time.
Whatever, man. As long as the Amazon package gets there, as long as they get their egg rolls, that's all that matters.
Hey, this is a clip from my Patreon-only podcast. Subscribe for more, if you want.